All right, let's get back into this. I'm not sure how much of the current stage is left. We'll see. So how's you both doing today?
Pretty good.
I could be doing better. I'm in non-zero amounts of pain, but
Not ideal. 0 is my favorite amount of pain.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, I need worry. Okay.
At least some of the pain that I'm experiencing is, a good thing.
Oh my god, Murray's even more excited to be played in this game. Before he just sat up straight and got a big grin, now he's actually dancing in his seat.
Well, all of that
Murray.
energy that he saved up,
That's
being
true.
non-violent.
He's been bottling it up for a while.
He went from a pacifist to passing fists.
Ooh, I like that.
I saw that one coming.
It's good. I saw some version of it coming, but I didn't think it was gonna be that exactly.
It's a good one, but I saw it coming.
I was sitting here wondering how this was going to happen. Was not disappointed.
Glad to not disappoint.
Speaking of
You
not
always make good
disappointing,
jokes.
yeah. Speaking of not disappointing, Deathloop was better than I thought it was going to be.
Glad to hear that. I knew that you were sort of not entirely sold on it.
I wasn't, but then just because I didn't understand exactly how the game flow was going to work. But hey, that's what sales are for, right?
Yep. I feel like exploding that.
Also, yeah, that chat room looks like Kai's hungry. Did not make that jump. Or that one either. I am now a finely minced hippo.
Yum.
So how am I going to get to the... Oh, it's this over here. I thought it was behind me. But yeah, Deathloop is Dishonored. Confirmed. That was kind of cool to see.
Was that something that you gathered from the secret ending, or...?
Nope. You learn it along the way no matter what.
Ah.
I'm not even 100% sure why they call that ending the secret ending. It's not really that obscured. But I looked up some ending guides, and apparently there's 3 endings. And the one I did is called the secret ending, but I don't think it was really all that hidden. Basically, it just comes down to a thing where at the end of the game you have to make a choice, and there's 3 choices you can make. And those 3 choices are called the good, bad, and secret ending.
That's not how secret endings work.
No, it's not. Maybe just because it was a slightly less obvious choice, but it didn't seem that obscure.
Unless the third option only shows up.
It doesn't show up at all, but technically you have to figure it out for yourself, but it's not a stretch.
That might be why it's a secret ending, though, because it's not a chosen ending. It's in the strictest of senses.
To keep it vague and unspoilery, it's basically the game is yelling at you to do a thing, but then you can choose to not do the thing.
What if you don't do the thing?
Then you get the quote-unquote secret ending. So to speak.
So if...
Or as I call it,
what
ending
if you
3.
choose the third option and only do half of the thing?
You can't do half of the thing.
That's sort of my thing there, is that if one is... If there's 3 choices, and that is either do the thing or not do the thing, then how is that the secret ending, is to not do the thing? That sounds like...
That's what I'm saying. It's not... I wouldn't call it a secret. But the people talking about the endings are calling it that.
And also, how is there 3 choices when there's only 2?
Yeah.
Because one of them branches into 2 others. afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the Dishonored link, to keep it vague for non-spoilery, because I will probably stream it at some point, do a new playthrough streamed at some point, but and you meant, I'll ask you a question afterwards, Kai, because you mentioned previously that you saw something or had a belief that the stories were connected previously. So I'm going to ask you why you believe that, or what you were presented about that. But I'll give you mine first. So at one point, in the end part of the game, late in the game, you come across an ornate box that contains a pair of dueling pistols. Now, Kai, do you remember in Dishonored 1, one of the missions you were sent to a fancy masquerade party? And you were given a side quest at that party where somebody basically tricked you into being their stand-in for a pistol duel.
Yes, I do.
So, this box is opened, and the Deathloop character the game presents these pistols as functional, well-maintained and cared for antique dueling pistols. And it's heavily implied that they are not replicas. They are, in fact, working and were not just ornamental. Like, these were pistols that were used for duels and are now antiques because it was a long time ago that they were used.
Nice.
They are identical to the dueling pistols used in Dishonored in that mission. Completely, exactly identical.
Nice.
So, kind of confirmed right there, right?
Yeah.
They are
So,
dueling pistols from that era. If not those
what?
exact, I don't know, maybe they're the exact same pistols. Or maybe they're just another of the kind, because I don't know if those pistols in Dishonored were commonly used amongst nobles, or if they were, like, those specific pistols were custom-made and unique pistols. I don't know that. If that's the case, they could be the same ones. And if not, they could just be another pair made by the same manufacturer. But they're from that era. Completely confirmed. No question about it. What was
Nice.
your thing that led you to this this thought?
Now I had heard that there were a pair of guns from Dishonored that were in it. I'm assuming that's the dueling
That's
pistols.
them. Yeah.
But also, something I noticed about from watching people play it is that there were a lot of I don't want to call them recycled assets, because they were
You're talking about the
they weren't
architecture and such.
like they weren't the same asset. They were the same
Yeah.
style, and they could have been the same asset, but their poly count was much higher, so they were completely remade.
They
to
were
be
remade, but
that
the same
asset.
Style.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute, I saw that in one of those games. It's like that.
Yeah. I've seen those things too. That was not enough for me to feel like it was a confirmation. That could have been a nod to it. That could have been like, oh, well, both games were made by the same developer, so they just decided to keep the same art style for, like, these crank wheels that have, like the wheels that you wrap a hose around. For example, that's one of the
Right.
things that looks the same. Or
Yeah.
like some of the architecture is similar. Like, okay, it's the same artists, it's the same company. Maybe they just decided to do a similar thing. Not proof by itself, but when you look at the dueling pistols, now you look at that stuff too, and now you raise an eyebrow, right?
I think I think there's a lot of evidence in that fact, because they went through the effort of duplicating it.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Like, what I'm saying is
like,
that by itself wasn't enough, but combined together, it really does strengthen the case.
I think it definitely strengthens the case, but I think that on its own, being in 3D modeling myself, I put a lot of weight on that because it's not easy to duplicate something.
It's a lot of work to put in for what would otherwise be no reason.
Yeah, it's
Attention
much
to detail is
easier.
what it is.
Right, it's much easier to create something completely new than it is to replicate something that already exists.
Yeah. But yeah, so with these things combined, also the fact that the game takes place in an area that is an old, abandoned fishing village on a previously unknown island.
Yeah, that too is sort of
So,
like,
so the buildings are literally from the era of Dishonored.
yeah.
So of course they look the same, with of course new technology added into it, but the buildings are not new. Just the stuff in the buildings is new. Like the furniture and the decorations and stuff are new.
Right.
Or new to the era that you're playing in, I should say, because it takes place in their equivalent of the 60s. So, which means that I think Dishonored would have been around like the mid 1800s somewhere.
Somewhere in that line, yeah.
Their version of the Industrial Revolution, but of course their technology is different.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was interesting. Also, there's going to be some sort of follow-up, I'm pretty sure.
It's basically the it's not the Dishonored we asked for, but it's the Dishonored we wanted.
Be the Murray you see before you today. I'm just not too sure he'll be pleased with my progress as a mystic.
Because they nailed it.
It's pretty cool. It is dripping with style. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe, but
But
my temper.
it's Arcane Studios, of course it is.
Right.
To help me! I'm sure the guru is happy to see friends sticking up for each other.
Now we need to do is wait for the follow-up. That's like, okay, so we had this super in the past game with interesting tech. We had this 1960s game with interesting but also somewhat future tech in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this other game that's set in a similar time zone, but the tech is just beyond anything we've ever seen, because the history took a different path, and they need to somehow find a way to tie in Prey to this timeline.
I would not say Prey is a similar timeline, but alternate. It's definitely farther in the future by at least 100 years.
But because their technology took a completely different path, I could actually see Prey existing in the same universe. Depending on how they spin that story.
It's hard to say because I'm not sure what the details of the Prey universe, or the new Prey universe, I should say, are. Because Dishonored and Deathloop are the same world, but they're not Earth. They're just an Earth-like planet. But I don't know if Prey is supposed to be Earth. So they could have made it under the idea that it's the Dishonored universe. I don't know. They haven't given us that information.
Prey directly, in its lore, talks about historical people from our universe. It is literally an alternate timeline.
I did not remember that. So okay, it is Earth then, which means it's not the Dishonored universe. But still, we're waiting for a sequel on that one too.
Yeah, I could still see them tying it in somehow with, at some point, because the technology in Deathloop is kind of dimension twisting ish, in a way.
No.
I could see that there is a dimension twist aspect to it. Like,
no. Well, unless you're considering time to be a dimension.
Time is a dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I agree with that, but I'm not a quantum physicist, so.
Well, physics says so. So, but
I will have to take your word for it. I don't see it, but I don't understand quantum physics. So.
That's okay. A lot of people don't. But anyway,
Most.
It's a long rabbit hole.
I could see, without going into without going into the depth of the rabbit hole that this does go, I could see the technology in Deathloop going, you know, all sorts of fucky and ending up in an alternate Earth universe, something that is more similar to what, you know, our timeline. And then just being like, well, I guess we're in here now, and oh shit, what the fuck is this?
Well, one thing I would say is the setting of Deathloop appears to be pretty equivalent to Earth's early 60s, with the exception of the fact that on this island there's a weird temporal anomaly going on, which people have figured out a way to exploit into weird powers.
Oh shit.
What?
That's what the Typhon are.
Are what?
That is literally what the Typhon are. Like,
temporal anomalies?
Yeah. They're beings that have traveled through a temporal anomaly.
Was it? Do we know that it was temporal? So I hold on. Okay, is this? Yeah. Okay.
I want to say yes, because of some of the stuff that I dug up in all of the files on it. I want to say that was absolutely confirmed, but I don't remember it completely clearly, but I can totally see if it is, in fact, a temporal anomaly that the Typhon came through, then I could see the Deathloop tech going completely haywire, opening a rift that the Typhon came through. You know, they went through it, and then the Typhon came with.
I can see it.
Yeah, could be.
It's an opening. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they were thinking, but it's definitely a possibility. I'm not gonna confirm or deny it. Either way, let's put it that way.
One thing that's definitely makes Deathloop extra weird is it definitely adheres to the quantum physics multiverse / timelines ideas.
Oh yeah, they did that quite well. Unlike other games who've attempted similar things, they actually did it quite well.
I don't know how much of Deathloop you've seen yourself, but I had a fun
I watched
playthrough.
Jake play it.
But all of it though?
I didn't get all of it. No, I saw basically bits and pieces, but I picked up enough of the theorem that they were talking about, so they actually have a decent idea of this. There would not be any quantum locking shenanigans that this team did.
Any quantum what?
Quantum locking shenanigans.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, the thing that kept the floating city suspended.
Oh, you're talking about Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. They're not gonna live that down, and they shouldn't live it down, but ultimately, they shouldn't get a ton of hate for that either.
I mean, they don't have to. They don't have to have it locked into real quantum physics perfectly. It could just be their own version, their own universe's weird physics.
Yeah, they did try really hard to explain it, and that sort of killed it in a way. I appreciate the effort though.
Yeah, there was at least one or two other things they did that took that in a weird direction too, but that's why it's fiction, right?
Yep. Yeah, I appreciated it. A lot of people get after him for it, but I actually appreciated the effort.
Oh yeah, they did a great, like, it was 90% on point. And the other 10% is, you know, creative license.
Exactly, and when you're doing the fiction story, that you have that ability. If at any point they said science instead of science fiction, I'd be on their ass, but they didn't.
Remember, press triangle button to uppercut.
Oh, sure they did if you just block out fiction.
I mean, yeah, but that's missing the point entirely.
I'm just being a bitch.
Press triangle
Like,
button to uppercut the
My
minor
favorite state of being.
instrument, and then
Star Trek is like a gold standard for science, for getting certain aspects of science right, but there's also a huge amount of just, well, you know, Q. It's his fault.
one drilled out, 2 to go.
Cute.
Just one left.
Oh boy, an advertisement for shoes.
Well, you don't want your feet to be naked, do you?
My feet are naked right now.
Lewd.
That's fine.
Holy cow! That mask can run! Mine can't do that.
Interesting. Press on to the guru. He'll have
That's why
the
yours is
answer.
safe to wear,
The
Murray.
door should be unlocked now that the drill circuit is broken.
Yeah, I was glad. One of the concerns I had about Deathloop was that I was going to have to do the same things over and over and over again.
Open up!
And mostly that's not true. Because while the day is doing a Groundhog Day repeat,
I have
you're doing
returned,
different
my
things.
master. The black
different
water
times.
now runs clear. I'd like
Yeah.
to. I am asking. Oh man.
下不就好呀？
Yeah. I want to join back up with my friends, and we're hoping you'd come along too.
王不急，
You'd love it in the gang. We have all kinds of fun.
下只酒吧，下只分景的，下只这，哎这。
Miners, gyrocopters,
Ah, da, da,
and a
da, da,
masked
da.
dark earth. Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. But we'll help you, I promise.
不咋啥，
Thanks, Guru. I'm happy to see you too.
Yeah, I would say 90% of the game is basically just digging up information. Really.
A lore game.
Yeah, you're basically doing what Bill Murray did in Groundhog's Day and trying different things and learning what works and what doesn't until you finally know what works, and then you do it. And then you win.
Sounds about right. As it should be. Really?
So I've had little mission runs that were just like, alright, run in, do this thing, run out. 5 minutes later, done. Move on to the next thing. Some things you can only do at certain times of day. So,
Keep a notepad to keep track of what combinations you've tried and which ones you haven't.
oh, that's the nice thing though, you don't need to, the game does that. Your mission journal does that for you.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
It'll be like you come across a fact and you'll be like, okay, I want to learn this thing. I have to do that by getting into this place. I can only get in this place in the afternoon. So it tells me that. Go to this place in the afternoon to learn this thing. Of course, you have to find the lead that tells you that, but, you know. Once you've done that, it's there. Also, the acting was incredible. I really like whoever voiced Colt. He's so full of personality. And Juliana.
Yeah.
All the characters, really.
Murray,
Honest, to be
let's
honest.
motor out to Ayers Rock and scare away those mining dingoes. Your guru wants it purified.
Awesome! This is the biggest truck I've ever gotten to drive. I can
That's a big
crush
fucking truck.
houses with this baby.
He's so excited. This is so Murray, isn't it?
It is. Those polygons, though.
Oh, yeah. God, these guys are people are blind.
Drive the miners out of Ayers Rock. But for my plan to work, we'll need to force the drill on this rig deeper into the ground.
None of them look anything
Okay,
like
Bentley,
him.
you've got my interest. So it looks like I may have to take care of a few guards
Wah,
if I'm going
wah.
to get at those drill controls.
Defeat the guards and start the drill. Then Murray can begin phase 2 of my plan.
I like how none of them noticed us approach. That guy looked right at me while I was looking at him through my binoculars from 10 feet away. And he's just like, alright, this is normal.
He's apparently nearsighted.
Yes. No, no, it's okay. Don't let me pick up that money or anything.
Nice work, Sly. The sonic vibrations caused by that drill should drive the giant scorpions in the area to the surface. If we can capture a bunch of red soldier scorpions, releasing them into Ayers Rock is sure to push out the miners.
Sounds like a job for the Murray. One question, though. How do I capture scorpions with a truck?
The vehicle is equipped with a supercharged e-brake, which, if pulled when moving, will cause a forward flip. Time it correctly, and you'll trap a scorpion in the mining that's built into the bed of the truck.
Okay, Bentley, bring on the
Okay.
scorpions.
Not so fast.
So I'm just gonna slam these holes onto the scorpions? This game is ridiculous.
You had to gamify it somehow, I guess.
I love it.
Watch your heat meter to make sure they don't melt. And remember, we're only interested in the red soldier scorpions. The blue worker scorpions won't help us scare the miners off. The truck controls are straight.
Are there worker scorpions?
The X button to go forward and the square button to
Not
drive in reverse.
really.
When you are going
It's not how
fast,
scorpions
press
work.
the R1 button to flip over and
Okay, that
drop
sounds more like
that.
ants.
Nice work. Looks like more are being driven to the
Scorpions are more solitary. Also, I love that it's, you know, it's just the supercharged e-brake, never mind the fact that that is not at all how that works.
Yeah, like why would that flip us over?
Is, you know, there's this whole thing that, you know, it's great if you have brakes that can stop the wheels, but what's gonna stop the wheels from sliding on the ground?
So why do I have to capture 20 of them? This is gonna get very old by the time I'm finished. Squish.
Yes!
Also, these are fucking massive scorpions.
That's 5 reds in the bag. Keep it up.
I think it would have been better if it had been 10, but oh well. Also, considering the what we've been talking about with Deathloop, there was one other thing in there that
Here we go!
did not seem like enough of an indicator by itself, but another one of those combined with other things moments. One of the major NPCs is frequently described as being on all of the drugs all of the time, right?
Yeah.
She's a weird spacey artist who is like constantly high as fuck on everything. And there's
Living their best
hold on.
life.
My sensors are showing a drop-off in underground movement. We'll have to drill deeper to keep the scorpions coming out. Sly, you'll have to climb to the top of the drill tower and override the depth control system.
Okay, Bentley, I'm on my way.
Anyways, so at one point, this person is described as, because she's stoned on everything all the time, she's given her possibly some actual metaphysical insight. And at one point she's described as being the only one that they know of who is able to see into the great beyond. And I'm like, possible reference to the void, question mark?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like that.
And it's one of those things that by itself does not prove that, but combined with the other evidence we've seen, there's another eyebrow being raised, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
It's working! Wait a minute. It's draining the water around the tower! Murray, you'll have to rely on squishing scorpions to keep your tires cool from here on out.
There we
No
go.
problem, Bentley.
I'll use scorpion guts as coolant.
Now. Come on!
Yes.
That's how.
Close enough. Close enough for the video game girls I go out with.
Here we go!
Ah, I missed.
Roll it!
That comes up passively too. I don't even have to be driving. Yeah.
Headstand! Shot-ching!
Well, I guess we have use for all these blue ones now.
Oh boy!
This truck must be incredibly poorly designed if it overheats this easily, though.
It's just the tires that are overheating. Because that's how that works.
Well, the ground's very hot here, you know. Not the air, though.
Yeah!
Your tires are about to melt.
You're about to melt.
Here we go!
I'll have to check my Steam records later to see how many hours it took me to finish off Deathloop there, but it didn't feel too excessive. I think I maybe looped the day 10 times or so. That's not that much, especially considering you don't have to do a ton of things every single time you go out on a mission anyways. Whoops.
Your tires are on the edge.
You're on the edge.
Blurry. I don't know.
I'll just have a nap
Great
here.
job, Murray. Now back that truck full of scorpions up to the mine entrance and deliver that not-so-friendly payload.
Holy shit.
No!
Scorpion just went right through that wall.
Run for it, mates! Uh-oh!
I like how he just stood there and let himself get eaten.
Nice teamwork, guys. Ayer's rock is clean of miners. The guru will be pleased.
Now the scorpions have a new home.
You got a home for all those wild scorpions.
Yep.
Alright, did you hear about that a couple years ago? It was sort of a big thing here in the States. There was an up-and-coming senator, or an attempting senator, and one of her goals was to spend all this money to capture and rehome wild burros.
Donkeys?
Mm-hmm. Consider this
Why?
for a second, though. Wild. They already had a home. The wild.
Yeah, why did she want to rehome them? What was wrong with their existing home?
They were in the wild. That's inhumane.
Is that actually what she said?
She had to have. Like, what, I don't understand what other possible purpose there could have been to this train of thought.
Me neither. What a special lady.
Not that I could say that there is a logical train of thought involved here at all, but that's at least the most logical.
The most
It's,
logically
Yeah.
illogical.
it's the one that makes the most sense out of none of them.
Yeah. Bizarre.
Gotta find homes for all of those wild asses.
Who doesn't like little wild ass? Well, her, I guess.
He wants them to be homed asses.
Yep. Well, they're already homed asses. She just wants them to be domesticated asses, I guess.
Domestic ass, yes. She wants them to be domestic ass.
Maybe she's
boy.
maybe she's just the dom. She doesn't want them to be wild and free. She wants to dom them.
I
don't know.
I don't want to give her that much credit.
I don't have your jetpack anymore, so I don't know how I'm gonna up this boy. Let's try this. Hey. I don't think so, chump. You and your baby get to live for the day. You're lucky it was me that found you and not Murray or Sly. Here we go.
Hail, O Guru of the Stone! Murray has purified Ayer's rock, and now I humbly deliver your walking stick and moonstone. The time for escape has come. Thank you, you're too kind. But tell me, how do you plan to escape? Gadzooks! You can transform yourself! Why, once you change shape, a
Gadzooks!
guard is sure to come inside and investigate! Too true! Wait, here comes a guard.
Master, hold down the L1 button to transform. I'll love.
Where'd he go?
Master, you're the greatest! That jump's totally fooled! Once his back is turned, use your powers to ram him into the cell.
Yeehaw!
Freedom awaits!
Hi.
It's not working. I need to redisguise. He's like, oh, that was weird. You want to look away? That'd be really nice. Thanks. There we go.
Awesomeness! Let's show these miners who's boss. Head for the drills. I guess Bentley's found a weak spot.
Am I gonna ram it with somebody else's head?
I will be right back.
Alright.
Same.
Then there was one.
pilots are impressive, Guru.
Harvey does him la.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Hasasang everybody. Hina.
I hear you. Those drills are tearing up the landscape. They appear to be fragile at the base. Ram a guard into it, and the whole apparatus should break apart.
Harvey did it here.
Oh yeah, some things never change.
Alright, we're totally about non-violence, but we're gonna forcibly ram people into active drills. Uh-huh. Totally not violent, though. Eat it.
Moves, Master!
Excuse me, do you have any more gods I can borrow? Or burrow, as the case may be. Whee! Giddy up! Get his legs go.
Down it goes! Yeah, these guys are hosed!
Yoink.
Master, you are king! Keep it up! Bentley's got another plan to stick
right
it to
I
these
am.
miners. Head for that far rock.
Ah. Oh well. I've been mildly inconvenienced till now. Don't you fellas mind me?
What the?
That grinder's tearing up Wave Rock.
Harvey shut up.
I know, it's awful. However, the link generator is weak. Easily destroyed, provided you can jump a few guards over there and ram it.
Ah, hold on, I.
Press the jump button to make guards jump. Are you sure about that? That's highly unorthodox.
You're the master! Master!
Damn right.
That
Once per
machine
wire,
is
I guess, huh?
crying hot, oily tears from your righteous blow!
Missed.
Hey, I'm back.
Hello. I'm not violently forcing guards to ram themselves against dangerous equipment.
Miners' machine The Dreamtime spirits rejoice!
So do you remember,
Hold on. I think we're about to get a cutscene. Hang on. Yeah.
The Guru has agreed to join our team, provided we can rid his homeland of the Dingo miners and deal with the Mask of Dark Earth. A tall order, but we're up for it. First, we'll enlist the aid of some local wildlife to help thin out the miners' ranks. Murray will feed our foes to a local giant crocodile. With some luck, he'll take a liking to the taste of miners and chow down on them left and right. Second, we'll hit these guys where they live, or at least relax. If we can clear them out of this lemonade bar, it'll be a crippling blow to their morale.
Lemonade
They'll
bar?
be begging to go home. And finally, Sly will use some mining equipment to drill for radioactive oil deep beneath the dried lake bed. Trust me, it's the key to getting rid of the Mask of Dark Earth.
Okay, you were saying?
So you remember on Drunken Peasants, there was a story of a cam model who shot herself in a fairly sensitive area with a firearm that she was pleasuring herself with.
Yeah. Dumbass. Yep, I remember that.
Would you believe me that in that one singular moment that she perhaps proved women in general the better of the sexes?
Absolutely not. No.
You want to know how she may have done such a thing?
I'm curious to hear your delusions on this, yes?
She did it but the one time, and in a not exactly exhaustive Google search has found no evidence of this happening prior. So this is probably a one-time thing. Or at least it's the only time it's ever been reported on. Again, not exhaustive. Maybe 15 minutes was spent on this. However, in the same 15 minutes, I have found that there is an internet challenge that, done by many a man that involves pointing a loaded firearm at their dick and pulling the trigger.
I mean,
And it has
males are more prone to idiotic bravado.
It has happened more than once where it has left them in the hospital.
Good.
So the idea is that you're not supposed to pull the trigger to the point where the striker or hammer drops. You're just supposed to pull it just enough. You tease it, basically.
Oh, you're playing chicken with your own dick.
Essentially, yes. Plenty of men have done this, and a few of them have ended up hospitalized by blowing their dick off.
Not enough.
So, well, maybe not the height of human intelligence or even feminine intelligence. She is just the one example of this, as opposed to several examples of men doing it for some fucking reason. And
yeah, people are idiots, and more of them need to end up in the hospital because of it.
All right, boys, look tough and get angry.
That's how you'll learn.
It's time to intimidate the locals.
Possibly without a
Yeah.
dick.
I can do it.
yeah, I mean,
Guys get angry.
Find the match deep inside yourself.
But hey, they're removing themselves from the gene pool at
And let
least.
the fire burn up your
In
guts
theory.
and boil your blood.
I don't
At
think
least,
she
at least
did.
the ones that actually
Pretty much
let
do
the
the
gun
same
go
thing.
off.
Look, our
Yeah,
goal
I
is
don't
to
think
drive
she
away
did
these
though.
miners.
That
The
makes me
cam
sad.
model.
Whatever it takes.
Because unfortunately in this case the actual reproductive organs are located adjacent to rather than directly
Yeah, but
connected to.
is she
So
going to heal to the point where she's inclined to do that?
There's a possibility of that, yes. She could actually restore full function. and form for that matter. And it's like,
It would be a real shame.
Listen up, dirtbags.
I still say that the question that was asked of why was it loaded was not the right question to ask.
It is one of the right questions to ask, but there are others as well. Such as just why by itself.
I don't think it
Hold on.
belongs.
Give me a second, though. Give me a second.
If a
Okay.
lemonade drinking challenge is what you had in mind, then the three of us will take on the best 3 lemonade drinkers you got.
Fair dinkum. Losers have to clear out.
Bad dinkum. Yeah, we've been talking about dinks. Weren't you listening?
Ready, steady, go! Channel your inner brat boy! Woohoo! Yes!
I don't think frat boys chugged lemonade, but hey.
Down it, sissy! Go, go, go!
Listen to the mouth on Bentley.
Steady on. Stomach gate, jump back.
Show 'em who's boss!
I mean,
Tablet bragger.
I'd probably chug lemonade because I really like lemonade.
Yeah, and you're not a frat boy, though.
Hold on. Waterfall.
We win!
That's cheating. Why, the turtle spilled more than he drank. Round here, there's only one thing we do with cheaters. Turn on the fence, Bruce. It's time we gave these cheaters a beat.
Oh, I'm glad we wasted our time with a stupid minigame for no reason. Couldn't we have just gone straight to this? We do have Murray here. Of course, I have to do this fight as the guy in the wheelchair. But hey.
This is tense! Sly, you okay?
Right as rain.
It's a cute
pal.
way of swapping characters in the middle of the fight. Can I just be Bentley and get this fight over with, though? Or Murray? I already was Bentley. Chair had a lot of money in it somehow.
Sly, you're on fire.
They just keep coming. You holding up, Murray?
Feeling strong.
Are you doing okay, guy who's best in a fight while we're in the middle of a fight?
Give it to him, pal. Looking good, Murray. Nice work, big guy.
Damn it, I'm trying to steal your friend's money.
Excellent hit, Murray! Well done! Well struck, Murray!
to him, pal.
Yes! The Cooper Gang rules the roost. We're the kings of the hill. The totally maxed out heavyweight champions.
Those guys won't be coming back here anytime soon.
Guys, looks like they saved their big guy for last.
He's wearing that freaky bad spirit mask. He must be so jacked.
We should work together to take this guy down. That mask has a power.
There's a really threatening guy coming in to beat us up. Let's ignore him and talk for a while.
At the same time, it's not very often you hear the good guy's monologue, so
True.
I kind of like it.
Does it
It's
count
a
as a
nice change of
monologue
pace.
if it's three people talking to each other? Although it's happening in the same way as the villain monologue, so... It's functionally similar.
Lead him over, my
Interesting. I don't know what it would be called in that case.
Get him while he's dazed.
Conversation just sounds not right.
Yeah. True.
Fire is
I'm
hot.
doing a good job avoiding the enemy, then I hurt myself. That's so this game.
That's platformers in general.
Bob's ready.
Yeah, but how many times did that happen to me in Sly 2?
Yeah?
The fight with Jean Bisson. I killed myself 5 times in that fight. I don't think he hit me once. Actually, no, his bombs hit me a few times, but most of the damage I took was from me.
All set with the bomb.
Yeah. Camera, what's going on? Murray, what are you waiting for? Thank you. Cripes.
Bob's down.
Barrel!
Yes, it is. Good for you, Murray.
Finally, that guy was the mask. It's getting away?
We might have cleared out this bar, but that mask is sure to keep making trouble for us. We need to destroy it.
Alright, we'll take it to Mount Doom. Actually, speaking of which, Kai, did you see the Lord of the Rings meme that I posted today?
Did.
That was
I
pretty
did.
good. One Mambo to rule them all. And I missed my glider. Oh well. Whoops. Yeah. Gamepad wires all over the place. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, as a delayed answer to an earlier comment, though, you said that Deathloop wasn't the Dishonored we asked for, but it's the Dishonored we needed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the Dishonored we needed or truly wanted necessarily, but it's the Dishonored we got, and it's still pretty cool. I think I still would have preferred an actual Dishonored, but I'm still pretty happy with Deathloop 2.
And they still technically could.
Yeah, there's no reason why they can't. In
Also,
fact, we
hey,
could
Snow-
have multiple Deathloop games because we could have a prequel, because there's some stuff in Colt's past that could be examined. Also, hello Snowcat, welcome. And there's some stuff that happens. There's some stuff revealed at the end of the game that could be looked into more. So there's certainly more potential there, and yes, we could certainly have more Dishonored games as well. And we still need a follow-up to Prey. So Arcane's got plenty of work left to do. Oh, what kind of knives do you have, Snow?
Hopefully
Where
the
did you
edible
head out for
kind.
the oil fields? Should be right through this cave.
We don't know that
Oh,
for sure.
yeah! Bentley said there'd be heavy machinery and destruction going down.
Sounds like your thing.
Y-E-S, yeah!
We're going after some radioactive oil, right?
I don't know. I can never pay attention during those slideshows. Don't tell Bentley.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Burrito, ooh, nice. I got to have my favorite onion rings today. Haven't had those in a long time. Yummy.
Sly, phase 1 is to protect these power stations while Murray gets all 6 oil
Murray,
wells
where'd you get
flowing.
my hat?
Use
I'm just
this
cosplaying
Super
Murray
Claw
today.
10,000 to deal with any miners that might show up. Use the left analog stick to move the claw around. The X button will pick up and release items. Before you're spotted, why don't you pick up that rock and drop it in the pit?
This is easy.
You do seem quite adept. The other important feature on the 10,000 model is the throwing action. Just pick up an item and press the circle button to throw them. You can throw things quite a ways. Go ahead and hit that electric fence with one of those rocks.
Lewd, Snowcat, lewd.
I think I've got the hang
Right,
of it.
but, you know,
Nice shot. Let's see you do it again.
no in a nutshell.
Face it, Bentley. I'm a natural.
Hope you're right, because it looks like the miners are onto us. Defend the power stations by using everything and anything in the oil field. This electric fence should come in especially handy for dispatching guards. Here they come.
This is a weird way to defend a person, but okay. It works.
I got one well flowing. 2 more to go. Yeah! Give him the fence! Two down, 1 to go.
Hey, Kai.
Hmm.
What do you call an overachieving librarian?
Oh, that looked awful. Nice
An over-archiver.
I...
Right. All 3 wells are puking up the crude oil. Give me a lift to the next set.
Speaking of Larson,
Take out the Murray slide and grab Murray and move before
Yes.
the miners get ahead of you.
I don't know. I just thought it was pertinent.
You better pick up the pace, Sly.
I look at Murray, he's having
Get
fun.
going. Okay, Sly, it's safe to let Murray go now.
Check out these guns. That pumping has got me pumped.
weird mission.
It is.
Man, this is tiring. Just one more to go. That guy's toast.
So speaking of new channel points redemptions I've been trying to ponder, we need to figure out some way to have
Nice throw.
a ladies point redemption that does something. Oh, we need some sort of ladies emote as well.
That's it. They're all gushing now.
Maybe an animated emote of me like repeatedly raising an eyebrow. Playfully.
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's head to the next oil field.
You better pick up the pace, Sly. Grab Murray. Okay, Sly, it's safe to let Murray go now.
I will
Let's
hurt
get
you,
that
Bentley.
oil burning. Sly, drop a flint rock on the end of that long plank. Murray, you'll then jump on the end and catapult the rock to the oil wells. The sparks on impact should start a fire.
Well, I don't know what she charged for animated ones. I know it's not one of her favorite things to do, just because they're a bitch.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra work.
But Ziggy's emotes will only run about $9 Canadian each
She's so
for the regular ones, which is honestly pretty amazing.
Doom on delivery.
It's not bad. Not bad at all.
You know, I gotta hype Ziggy. She did such good work for me,
Oh, hell yeah.
and her pricing was super reasonable.
Yeah.
There are people out there that are charging a lot more than that, and the quality is on par or possibly worse.
Yeah, her quality is great. Anybody would be hard pressed to beat that quality.
Heads up.
I learned today also when I was setting up my emote, the new one. It wasn't going to be Nom. Currently it's set up as kind of a Nom. But it was going to be Tardy, actually, because it was going to be a direct reference to the Toast of Tardiness trope.
He's not getting up.
Whatever. Oh, for the
Apparently-
Japanese schoolgirl thing?
Yeah. So, apparently, though, the word tardy violates the community guidelines of Twitch.
I can see why. Don't agree with it, but I can see what they were thinking.
I just realized why. Okay. I
Like
can
just
see
a
it,
second,
okay.
you mean?
Yeah, I just now realized it.
Yeah.
I just now realized it. I can see why. I think it's overarching, but I just now realized why. I had to say it out loud. That's weird.
Some things are like that.
I'm glowing.
Murray, we're gonna take you to the hospital now. R.I.P. Murray. Have some
Yes,
chat.
no. It is very funny when I'm dumb. It happens so often too.
And yet it's still funny every time.
Yep.
I mean, you get to experience the same thing when you're watching me. I'll have to say that last mission was pretty lame, and I'm glad it's over. Alright, back to the Murray.
time we subtracted a few miners from the equation.
You know I don't understand that math talk.
We need to put the smack down on these bad dudes for justice.
Righteous. I'm the man for the job.
The guru will start luring miners to a position near this giant crocodile. Your job is to throw the thugs into the mouth of the monster.
Teach him to like eating miners, huh? That's a sinister plan, Bentley. I approve.
With some luck, the oversized reptile will be an invaluable asset in our efforts to drive away the miners. He might even take care of our Mask of Dark Earth problems. I've spotted it prowling near the safe house.
Roger. It's feeding time.
Give the gator junk food. Fair enough. Okay, sounds like your printer's getting a little uppity there.
Nice. You'll need to give him a
Little
taste
bit.
of both types of guards. More kangaroos and
Apologies for taking so long.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you.
Welcome back.
I went to do one thing and I got caught up with like 3 other things.
That do be how it be.
It do be that way sometimes.
That's not even a sometimes. That's just a
Most of the
that's
time, actually.
that's most of the time.
Chow down, Haley.
Yeah, we're just about 30% done on this print.
Hungry little fella? Chew that miner like bubblegum.
Chew that miner like bubblegum.
Not
Twitch,
sure
we're talking about
maybe?
people who are going to mine. By the way, Twitch, just to clarify.
Remember to chew.
Yeah, definitely. That didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, okay, so
That's because we're sane people who don't have to
Miner-flavored miner.
think about that kind of thing on a regular basis.
I get such headaches thinking about the shit that I need to think about on non-regular basis.
You like eating miners.
Right?
I do. It's like it's so frustrating being on a platform like this because you have to think about everything as like, okay, so that's funny, right?
Great job, Murray. Now feed the croc one last thing.
And if it's not funny, how is it not funny? Is it not funny because it's not funny, or is it not funny because it's actually offensive? And if it's actually offensive, how?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling.
Right. So I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now, because I couldn't hear what Bentley was saying.
Oh. Sorry.
Something over there, I guess. I guess I have to feed a very specific person to the alligator.
Discord is not working right for me, so I will be right back.
Alright.
First, you'll need to sneak up on the miner with a flashlight in order to grab him.
Let's go, bud. We're about to make a new friend. Or at least be his hors d'oeuvre. Actually, no, we fed him a lot of stuff already. You're about to become an after-dinner mint.
Take cover, Murray. Here comes the guard.
I gotta go get food.
Dark
Alright,
Let's see
enjoy.
if all of your hard
I will
work
return.
and rock pays off. Tarnation, that mask keeps getting away. Since when do masks get away?
That's because we just stand here and watch it leave. Have you tried actually doing something about it?
You can feel it in the air. The miners are about to pack it in. In fact, they'd probably already be long gone if it weren't for the corrupting influence of the Mask of Dark Earth. It's clear we need to destroy it. Time for Operation Moon Crash. To start things off, we'll need the Guru to take out the gyrocopter. With it gone, we'll have clear skies for Phase 2. Now, according to Aboriginal folklore, the Mask of Dark Earth is the sworn enemy of the Moon Spirit. So, given Murray's moon shape, we'll coat him in the glowing oil and have him pose as the spirit. We'll then dangle him from the crane. The mask is sure to spot his ancient foe and come running. That's when we'll strike. Murray, thunderplop off the crane and obliterate that mask. With the mask destroyed and the miners run off, the Guru will be free to join the team for the Cooper Vault job.
How's it going there, Raze?
I go to get food. What?
Kai went to get food, yeah. Wait. I was supposed to be Murray for this. It's not.
So... Sorry, Krendar.
What's that?
Sorry that I interrupted you with my nonsense.
No. Yes, I. Alright, we will now take out a helicopter with the best choice, a guy with a stick.
Yet to formally join the team, but we need your help to destroy the Mask of Dark Earth. Your objective is to take out the gyrocopter while it's refueling. Glad to hear you're up to it. The bad news is the gyrocopter has a sensor that can detect your moonstone. I suspect that's how they found and trapped you earlier. Get too close, and they'll detect you, then take off out of reach. For this job, you'll need to run guards toward it, and then jump off early before it senses you. Ram a few guards into that thing, and it's sure to fall apart.
This is... Some of these things are just so video gamified. It's very silly.
As I'd hope they would be in a, video game.
Well, I mean, it's not a game that tries to sound realistic in any way. It's like, yeah, we'll just do this, because why not?
Do be how it be sometimes.
It do. It certainly do. There we go. Some volunteers. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. Excuse me, sir. Need your help.
Aim that miner and then jump off with a triangle button.
Yeah.
Way to go, Guru. A couple more direct hits like that, and that gyrocopter will be history.
Can't use that guy because I don't know how to cross. Must find a new volunteer. Guess the other guy up there will do the job. Excuse me, sir. Thank you for volunteering. Ow.
Did he volunteer or was he voluntold?
Yes.
That is what I thought.
Ah, the joys of mind control.
Wrap one more guard into it, and it's finished.
Should be another guy around here somewhere. Very far. Excuse me. That guy would have been more convenient, but I didn't see him at the time. And yeah,
Well then, don't be blind.
I'm not blind. I'm Krendar.
Behold, the moon spirit
Boo.
rises.
Everyone keep an eye out for the mask. It's sure to take the bait.
We got a situation here, fellas.
Oh, of course.
Looks like Carmelita finally managed to catch up.
Drat! We can't stop the operation now.
You know that
We
feeling
just
you get
have
when you're
give
about to
her a
sneeze?
wide berth.
Roger, applying wide berth.
I'm stuck with that right
Quit
now.
horsing around
I hate
and
that.
look out for the mask.
I'll
Close.
sneeze.
I can feel it.
Let me sneeze! Yes.
Here I come, master!
I hate with just the feeling being
Let's get it.
stuck.
Is the mask
Yeah.
gone? Sly, can you see?
Can't tell from here.
Oh,
I'll
good.
move in.
You know what? That kind of works for her.
Cooper, thought I'd find you here.
Carmelita, you've got a little something on your face.
It's not nice to make fun of a girl's looks.
Maybe I should smash you!
Now, that's not nice.
I think her tail needs a few more polygons. That looked really sharp.
Bentley,
She's a fox, not a
could use little
scorpion.
help. How about putting a few of your sleep darts in Carmelarja here? They will fry out the
Carmelarja.
mask.
Well, how do you know she's not a scorpion?
I guess you could be both.
They can disguise themselves.
Ow. Guess I know how to do sleep darts, you stupid game.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes,
Snow.
no.
It's very rude to make fun of a lady's weight like that.
Wasn't her weight, it was her face. Oh, we're talking about the Karma Large thing.
Yeah.
Hello, Snow!
Hey, some people like the
Hello,
Amazons.
Ray.
So how did the lead delivery service go yesterday?
Was fun.
I do like that name.
Yes, I do.
Me too. My God, she's towering over
Our
Sly
tactics.
now. She's gonna give Sly the snoo.
There are people
Our
out there
tactics.
into that.
Finally, the darts are starting to kick in.
Our lead delivery
Or
service
not.
style was really
The
effective. I just
chemicals in
delivered
my
some through a
darts
van.
Must somehow be interacting with the mask to make her even bigger.
Head
You're
to
not kidding.
brave
Oh, no.
She's
the
getting
outer net world.
Gigantic. Everyone head
You.
for the
It's
big
attack
truck.
at the 50-foot
We've got a
Carmelita.
distance between her and us.
Oh no.
She might shrink back down with time.
Come on, give us a good stomp.
Delicious 5-cent basket.
Look
It's
at
only
her.
5 cent. How
Oh my God,
delicious
she's
is it?
carrying another truck. Convenient that her clothes grew with her, though, eh?
This is bad. Looks like she's picked up a ring full of dynamite. All round power to the onboard Superclaw 10,000. Use it to keep any explosives off our truck. Maybe you can throw them back at her? Might slow her down.
braved the outer net earlier.
Oh, gross.
Ugh.
Me too.
I was about to have more Christmas shopping and stuff like that.
Oh yes, crisis shopping.
Yeah.
Let me wiggle my legs at you.
I was going to have some very strong words with this one lady because she came walking past and she smelled like she had dumped like an entire vat of like the stinkiest, strongest perfume on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh gosh. It's like, no, stop getting close to people. You stink.
Maybe we'll get back to Carmelita we all know and love.
I do not love her.
Okay, not the point. It's all about taking off that
Like,
mask.
people should not smell you coming.
You're the climber.
Right?
And I'm sure you've always wanted to get closer to her.
Oh yeah.
Can't get much closer than
Sly's always wanted to climb that fox
Not a
booty.
crazy idea.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
You got a better idea?
Yeah, but we'd need a giant fighting robot.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to go with the bootlace plan.
Watch out! Carmelita's troops are en route!
Sounds like
I
something
know
for you to
it's-
deal with, Bentley.
I know this is the style of game, but oh gosh, these poor polygons.
Right? Well, we're playing Shadow of the Colossus now. Oh yeah, this is the best place to be.
Great work, Sly! One hook to go in the
Oh gosh, it's an anime opening.
We need the music from Attack on Titan playing right now.
Yep. But get.
Attack on Sly doesn't sound as good.
You know what drives me nuts about that, the name of that show, though? Why is it called Attack on Titan when you're being attacked by Titans? Why is the town called Titan? It's so stupid.
Because
The town is not
the
called
town-
Titan.
It's not?
Well, I just
No.
think it's a very literal name.
Well, what does
They're
Attack
on the Titans
on
and they're
Titan mean,
attacking.
then?
They're on the Titans and they're attacking them.
Yep.
Is that what it's supposed to mean?
No idea.
Because they climb the Titans to chop their heads off? 'Cause that's not usually what attack on blank means. Oh well. It's a very
Also-
bad name, is the point.
Finally, that series ended.
Just lay there,
Cutscene.
unconscious, helpless on the desert floor. Being gentlemen, we kept watch over her throughout the night.
Ah, she's a cutie
Her
when she's
camera
asleep.
proved to be a real source of entertainment as we took turns posing. Didn't want her to go home empty-handed. And we got a clear view of the landscape. It was beautiful, empty of the miners
Oh,
who had been
dear.
digging and drilling into the sacred place. The moment was broken as Carmelita began to stir, and we prepared for another quick exit. Only this time, it wasn't just the three of us. For
Evidence.
the first time in
Sure.
Cooper Gang history, we picked up a new member, and the team would never be the same.
I like him.
Nice.
Bentley was obsessed. Every night he'd pore over the blueprints to Dr. M's fortress, looking for a way to get into the Cooper vault. He soon
Turtlebeard.
came to the conclusion that there was no way inside unless the gang picked up a dedicated RC specialist. An expert who had mechanical and piloting skills far exceeding his own.
I like turtles.
After
like
weeks
turtles?
of searching techie chat
Earhart,
rooms,
babe.
he finally found someone who could keep up with him intellectually. A gearhead genius out of Holland named Penelope. She politely declined our invitation to join the team, saying
come
she only
on.
works for the best.
Bentley would begin his sentences with capital letters. Don't give me this
Apparently,
lowercase
her idea
nonsense.
of the best
Yeah.
was her boss, the Black Baron. A big-time dogfighting champ up there in
That
Holland.
mustache.
He's so good that he's even set up an international competition called Aces to attract worthy opponents.
Nice. Oh no, it's the Red Baron.
A few days later, she sent us a counter.
What?
If our gang could manage to beat the Black Baron at a team
What
game,
the fuck is that
then she'd
picture?
know we weren't just a pack of jokers.
I
Oh my
do not
gosh.
know.
Worth her time. So, we got busy. With no time to lose, Bentley and Murray worked to put a plane together, while I got my pilot license the fastest way possible.
Uh-oh.
We'd proved to this Penelope that the Cooper gang was up for the challenge, even if we were making it all up as we went along.
Like how both pictures have tape on them.
Oh jeez.
Tape the pictures.
Ooh, stylish.
Mm.
Cover the eyes, make him look like those useless sensor bars.
Yeah,
They actually make sunglasses like that now, by the way.
that's awesome.
Am I gonna walk around being censored? Hell yeah.
Yep.
I want some.
I think they started making them a long, long time ago. Called a blindfold. They just weren't very effective. Or they were too effective.
You're effective at blinding you, certainly.
No.
Yeah, they stopped the light coming into your eyes, that's for sure. All of it.
Somebody should make a blindfold that actually has like sunglasses lenses in it, so you can actually see out of it. That would be fun, just to mess with people. Can I actually afford anything? I don't think I can. Well, maybe a little bit. I've got all this crap to buy and like almost no money. Oh, very wide. Okay, I need to get that.
Sorry for my squeak.
What?
Just the fucking name of this goddamn thing. The cluster duck.
Nice. You've earned a trophy, OMG, a flying turtle. Alright then.
If we're gonna succeed in this year's Aces competition, we'll need to learn who we're flying against.
What? They keep the flight roster a secret?
Correct. In years past, competitors would go out at night and sabotage each other's planes in preparation for the next day's dogfight.
I get it. So now they keep the lineup a secret, and no one knows who to mess with.
Precisely. Looks like you're a good pilot, but we've only got one plane, and you'll be up there against dozens of bogeys.
You know, normally I'd make some sarcastic remark about how overwhelmed I am by your confidence in me, but those are some grim odds. And, well, you know, I'm always up for some sabotage.
Glad to hear it. Now, the roster is kept secret from the pilots, but not from the event staff.
Do we have a mole on the inside?
Our friend, Dimitri, has been hired to give color commentary during the dogfights. He'll know where the roster's hidden. Scout about somewhere in the hotel lobby. But be careful. If you start a fight with the other pilots, we'll be kicked out of the competition.
Sure, we all play nice until tomorrow. Then we blow each other to bits at 300 feet.
Sounds like a good plan. But time for a quick break first. Beer by.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, I'm so quiet. I'm not generally this quiet.
It's all good.
Alright, I am back. Yep,
Welcome
it's
back.
fine.
Welcome back.
You're welcome to hang out, but you're not obligated to do anything in particular, so it's fine. It's all good. Eh. Alright, let's see. Here. Just want to double check something. How much does this light affect things? That's weirdly bright for some reason. I don't know why the camera's magnifying that light so much. Oh well.
Mm.
Yeah, well. Okay.
Well, Dan has apparently been lurking.
Oh, hello, Dan. How's it going? Quietly lurking is typically how one lurks.
That's how lurking works.
If you were lurking loudly, I would have questions.
Dimitri, funny seeing you here. Never pegged you as a
Can
flyboy.
one even lurk loudly?
Exactly.
I have many profiles. Dig, don't even try to understand the silky enigma of Dimitri.
Definitely seem to think you might have a copy of the Aces flight lineup. That true?
And why should I talk to a 2-bit Rudy Poot crackerbox like you? Question mark in
Rudy
bold.
Poot?
Why?
Question mark in bold.
You might want to think about talking, pal. I could always rat you out to the Black Baron. Then you'd be out of a job.
I'd have no job, and you'd have no nada flight lineup. Go ahead, blow that whistle. I'll be seeing you in the loser's hot dog banquet.
Ooh, hot dog banquet. Yummy.
We both know you're going to tell me. You wouldn't have bothered showing up if you didn't want to talk. So, spill it.
I know, but to talk is like sitting on an electric chair. The Baron has eyes and ears and fists. Dimitri will be discovered, and the jig is pitched.
I love this guy's weird sayings.
Come on now, Dimitri. A man like you can deal with this Black Baron. You've got the best fashion sense of anyone I know.
The fashion? Style? You're right. If I can impress him, I can certainly outsmart him. All is told through clothes. Okay.
With how his eyes look, I have a feeling that is not a regular old cigarette.
Which I'll collect in
Right?
a few months of time.
A favor?
There's no small time favor like, will you water my fish or feed my plant? No way, bro. This old school
Water my
mafia
fish.
blood pack favor, like movies, big time.
Okay, Dimitri. Hook me up with the flight roster, and we'll owe you one.
Done! The bargain she has struck. To find flight roster, look behind one of the tacky paintings in Black Baron's air hangar. It's hidden in secret safe.
Art decryption lock, huh? I know just the guy for the job.
Stand cool. Here comes Big Cheese.
Stand cool. That's good mustache physics.
A most flamboyant welcome, my esteemed comrades of the skies. Welcome, welcome to another year of the Aces competition. We've got teams here from across the globe. Canada, Belgium, Ecuador, Iceland, Korea, and many, many more. Not the least of which is last year's deadly runner-up, Team Mugshot. This time we're gonna drill
This
you
guy.
jokers full of holes. Now, we all know
It's the
that
puppy
in years
dude.
past,
Yeah.
some teams have engaged in a little good-natured late-night hijinks. Like when Team Canada
does this dude
stole
look like
Ecuador's parachutes,
a
or when Team Iceland
pilot
sought
Yosemite
the landing
Sam?
gear off Korea's planes.
Yeah.
Or when Portugal put rat poison in Team Mugshot's coffee machine. Yes, that was also very funny, but no more. You know the rules. No one, absolutely no one, is to leave the hotel after sunset. If my guards catch you outside, you will be beaten to within an inch of your life. No exceptions. This will be a fair competition.
Same as last year and the year before. I've got the scars to prove it.
I bid you all an exuberant and exaggerated farewell, pilots. Tonight, sleep like geese. And tomorrow, soar like eagles.
I like this guy. What? Ha
They don't lock the front door to the hotel. This isn't a jail. But you heard the Baron. Once outside, things will get dangerous.
Is it this way? Must be, because there's not. That door appears to be sealed off. Yeah, here we go. I'll just stride out confidently. Before I spin and change disguises like Wonder Woman.
Careful, partner. The Baron's got plenty of guards on duty, and it's a long way up to his castle on the hill.
The size of this cheese. I want it.
The one next to it. The one next to it. The pile next to it.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Say cheese. That is a lot of money's worth of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be like $200 or something or more. Just
Probably
for one
so.
wheel. Cheese is expensive.
Yeah.
But it's so tasty.
But cheese is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
He's totally worth
well, screw that guy, I guess.
it. Screw that.
Alright, watch out for...
Screw that dude in particular.
Watch out for Massive Wolf. Gotcha.
Yep.
Bunny gets jumped.
Beat the bunny. No.
It's Bizarro World. The bunny got jumped.
I won't be able to get inside
Let's
the
play
Baron's
click the
hangar with
baby.
that drawbridge up. There
Mhm.
should be a relief
Take
lever
the
on
baby.
top of the
Take the
castle.
baby.
The baby.
Sorry, pal. but
Take the baby.
Oh, South Park. You're so silly.
Jeez.
The competition starts tomorrow. Where are all my guards? Asleep? Watching TV? I bother paying them at all. They're going to lounge about like...
For all the guards, we ate them.
Who's he even talking to?
I don't know. I think he's crazy.
I think so too. That's how exposition works in video games sometimes.
True.
At least he's stylish about it.
Yep.
I tell you, Christoph, the Aces pilots get better and better. We've got some real...
He's got more style than Dimitri thinks he has.
Oh, I'm not saying it's too much for Team Black Baron. No, 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 no. We've done a fine job training. Our pilots are in tip-top condition. The best lot, without question. Truly.
So I like how the rabbit guards are wearing wooden shoes.
Who trusts someone named Dimitri for style?
Good question.
Sly, are you up there?
Nope, sorry. Just us Black Baron goons.
Throw the switch and lower the drawbridge so that I can get up there.
Sorry, pal. I don't see any switch.
But there just has to be a switch. I can't get in the Baron's hangar from down here.
Hold on. I got an idea. It's gonna fall.
You could have maybe warned him first.
Medieval, but effective. Thanks, pal.
Sure thing. See you back at the safe house.
Oh no, Bentley got squished again.
Time for the flying turtle. Yeah.
That would have absolutely sucked, by the way.
Too soon, Snow. Too soon.
What do you mean it was too soon?
Ooh.
Jeez.
There we go. How do I use this one? Okay. Oh, he's got it. Triple jump. Quadruple jump. Nice. Wasn't expecting that much money. Thanks, automatic hangar door. That's weird.
If Dimitri
Peach's intel is accurate, the flight roster should be locked behind one of the paintings in this hangar.
Attention castle staff. We've got a big day tomorrow in the first round of the Aces competition. 12 hours long.
Yeah, made it.
Preparing for the event, and this year promises to be the best dogfighting action we've ever
Yay.
seen. However, cannot stress enough that I must win. We're all been hired to help me ensure victory. If in fact the unthinkable happens and Team Black Baron loses, I'm going to dismiss the lottery and start clean with the Leave nothing to chance.
I'm stealing their pot money.
Enter the castle. No one is to go near our planes.
Pot?
Yep.
I want pot.
Well, he doesn't have it anymore because I smashed it.
That safe
Damn.
was
Oh
closed.
no.
Try the other.
You're supposed to smoke it, not smash it.
It's hard to smoke ceramic.
No, just get it hot enough.
And I didn't say it was impossible. God, look at that painting. Epic.
Nice.
Bentley always looks so angry during those freeze frames.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Okay, fellas. According to the Aces flight lineup, we'll be flying against Team Iceland and Team Belgium in tomorrow's semi-final round. As you're all
Everyone has a
aware,
right to
we've
look
only
angry.
got a single plane,
Mhm.
while our opponents will be flying 15 apiece. You got that, guys? That's 30 to 1.
These enemy
odds
pilots look like
against
board
us.
game pieces.
In order to give us a fighting chance, we'll need to pit
But you mean they don't?
teams against each other. First, Murray and Sly
Huh?
will paddle through the sewers beneath town.
You said the pilots look like board game pieces. I'm like, what? You mean they don't?
Don't what?
Steal one of their trademark Viking
They don't always
then
look like
head
board
over
game
to Team Belgium's
pieces?
hangar. Vandalize
I don't know.
one of their aircraft, then
Yes,
I've
please
seen
do.
them before today.
in order to frame Team Iceland for the damage. Next, Murray and I will steal one of Team Belgium's monogram handkerchiefs. Meanwhile, the Guru will break into the Team Iceland supply truck carrying their lucky ice sculpture. Sly will steal the art and then place the handkerchief insinuating Team Belgium for the crime. Get it? We frame both teams so they'll be gunning for each other.
Yeah, Bentley, we
and
get it.
not Sly in the semifinals. All the while, I'll be setting up defenses around the Team Cooper air hangar. You never know when one of the other teams might come looking to do us some harm.
Oh dear.
I mean, he's not wrong. Alright. Let's see. Got my glider back, though. Yay! I missed you, paraglider.
All right, see that armored supply truck? It's en route to drop off Team Iceland's lucky ice sculpture for the semifinals tomorrow. I've given the drivers some bad directions, so they should be going around in circles for hours. We need you to get inside that truck, steal the sculpture, and plant some evidence implicating Team Belgium.
Good thinking. Team Iceland won't be gunning for me if they think the Belgians stole their lucky hunk of ice.
That's the idea.
You're not there during the slideshow, Sly?
Steal one of Team Belgium's official gold lace monogrammed handkerchiefs. Or we'll head inside and get one of those stodgy Belgians laughing. They're notoriously stone-faced. Then I'll move in and steal the handkerchief.
Seems like getting inside that truck might be a good job for the guru. He could use some of the guards' heads to bash in the back doors.
Agreed. I'll make sure he's in position.
Dum 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 dum.
Okay, Murray, no pressure, but you've got to find a Team Belgium pilot and get him laughing so hard that Bentley can make the pull. This is serious business, pal. Those guys are uptight. If they notice being robbed, we'll be kicked out of the Aces competition.
Alright, let's start with the drunk one. No? Alright. Which specific? Alright, this one. One with the shiny Murray head.
Do you like comedy? I think it's time for Mr. Salty Pants to crack a smile. What do you say?
You're talking to a badger.
Mm. Oh yeah, because Murray's gonna be great at historical and political humor.
That Baron, he's always, I love flying. Don't go outside. Listen to me. I'm so smart. I'm the boss. My mustache.
Murray, you're
is
supposed to be
so
funny.
macho. That's pretty lame, huh?
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, I have to hear his take on intellectual humor.
I can't
Okay.
make heads or tails of this coin. Get it?
No.
It's totally funny because, like, when you flip a coin, it comes out either heads or
Oh dear.
Come on, that's comic gold. Ever see someone put their fist down their throat? Ta-da! Hey, fish! Duck! I need help! Hey!
So it'd be the really of course it'd be that one. Also, what is that laugh? What is that laugh?
That one.
That is such a
I timed that wrong.
Make the pull
Oh
while he's laughing, he
jeez.
won't feel a thing.
I'm so glad that the handkerchief was apparently
Nice work. Meet me
made of
outside with
iron
the
and
goods.
it was
It's up to the
magnetic.
guru now.
For that matter, I'm not sure it should have worked on the gold coins either.
Bentley's en route to me with the monogrammed handkerchief, but we'll never be able to swipe the ice sculpture unless we can get into that armored truck. I agree. The back door should be its weak spot. Yeah, I'm sure the guards around here won't mind too much if you break the door down with their heads. Bentley set
Peacefully,
up a waypoint
that
on the
is.
truck. Should be handy. The thing's moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
Although I like how when they're communicating with the guru, he doesn't have a binocucom, but he's doing it like with some sort of telepathy or something. Because he's a magic guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice touch.
I don't think you can even see that walk cycle because of how much he's bouncing around.
Yeah, the frame rate on that bounce cycle is a little crazy.
Yeah?
Alright, I need a volunteer.
If it's dangerous, me.
By which I mean a mind control victim.
Mm.
Oh, wait. Can I use this to call guards out? Nope. That is not what that was. Did I find a guard? Or a volunteer, anyway. Where's the truck? Yes, I'd like to run them into a truck. Where is it? Way over there, okay. Of course, it got way away from me while I was busy. Good on this guy, though, for running faster than a truck drives, though.
It's a good start, but the truck just powered up its automated defenses. You'll have to pay attention on your next approach. It could get sticky.
Nobody here, just a pile of apples. He's getting a workout. Alright, how many of these bear traps do you have in that truck?
Too many.
All of them.
I think the truck's made out of hammer space over here. Also, apparently I missed. I guess I hit the edge of it.
Then what's its counterpart? You know, hammer time? Nothing? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hammer space, hammer time.
Time, space time, yeah. Okay, I see. I get it. I thought this place was supposed to be teaming with guards. Where is everybody? Darn it. Oh, darn it. There we go.
Gosh darn it.
Ow. Oh man. Get up. God damn it.
Rude.
Suddenly flowers. He's like, oh, okay, that's normal. Go back to work.
Perfectly normal.
Son of a bitch. Alright, you're gonna need another volunteer. Would anybody in the audience like to be violently rammed into a truck?
Sure.
Oh, let's go with a bunny rabbit this time. Those clogs will help him run better, right?
Oh gosh.
He doesn't look like he likes it very much.
Keep it up.
There. Okay, one more. Actually, two more, apparently. God damn it. It's half a second away from impact.
Oops.
Ooh, cheese. I'm delicious. Ladies.
That truck can't hold out for long.
Alright. Time for some fresh meat. I mean, volunteer.
I wouldn't mind some fresh meat.
Mm-hmm.
I am hungry.
I'm definitely gonna have to have some meat after the stream as well. It has been a few hours since Borger.
I'm probably just gonna need some rice.
Nice work, Guru. The back doors are still holding tight, but the top of the vehicle's been blown wide open.
by my impacts at the back of the vehicle. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sly, your turn. You'll have to sprint hard to catch up, but jumping inside through the roof should be easy.
Hey, look, you can tell it's Holland because there's dams and people wearing clogs.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you forgot you're in Holland, by the way.
I thought there would be some windmills too. No, that's the Dutch.
Oh dear.
It's okay, we got them too. Although, isn't Holland the Dutch?
Yes.
I don't know.
Let's get above him somehow. Alright. Time for the ancient channel tradition. How do I up? First, loot. Which is also a tradition. Loot whoring and then upping.
You know how to piss off a Swedish person?
Hmm.
Tell them Denmark is better.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
So Sweden and Denmark is like Canada and the US then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. I had my Danish friend,
Ah.
I asked him about that, and, I don't remember the entirety of it, but it's funny. It's just over some stupid thing.
This is it. Crack the safe and make the swap. No pressure, but I think the driver has figured out where to go. You don't have much time.
Neither does he. I stole the fish.
Great work. Team Iceland is sure to blame the Belgians. They'll be all over each other in tomorrow's
Ooh, hot.
dogfight.
We'll be all over each other.
Ladies.
It's gonna get sticky up there.
Oh jeez.
Alright, I think we can swap out to Murray now. I cannot believe they did not see me with those floodlights. Alright. Safi house, this way. Oop. It's a big button, holy crap. Or his slide is smaller than I thought he was.
I mean, he is a raccoon after all.
He's
Raccoons
composed
can
mostly
go-
of floof. Sorry, was that right?
Raccoons can go into holes up to, or down to 4 inches.
Lewd.
There's a second half to that fun fact, and I don't want to say it. Because then I have to remember it.
Wouldn't that mean you want to say it, but you can't?
I don't want to remember it.
You don't want to remember it?
You do currently remember it, you just don't want to.
Yes.
I see.
Looks like hard partying Team Iceland has already
However, I
gone
will
to
DM
sleep.
it to Snow.
Time to borrow one of their
And
Vikings.
Oh,
I hear her.
I remember.
Just have
I remember it.
Hold on.
and steal the thing.
This is a delicate business. We're trying to frame Team Iceland for a crime they haven't committed. If there's any evidence of their door being forced, people might believe that they're innocent.
Man, you've gotten devious over the years. So, how are we supposed to get inside?
There are some sewer pipes beneath town that should connect up with the ventilation system of the hotel. Sly scrounged a raft for the trip, but be careful. Other pilots have caused trouble down there in the past, and the Baron is sure to have set up some security.
I get to row a boat? Nautical!
Yes, yes it is.
the left analog stick to steer the raft. Press the X button to row forward and the square button to row backwards.
So like the truck. Oh no, I have to spam the button. That's annoying. Look at him go.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, just have some mines in your sewers. That's logical.
Hmm?
And they were really worried about security, huh?
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you have mines in the sewer? That's why when someone plays Minesweeper, they clean out the place too.
Good
Oh
point.
my goodness.
I like that. Just sweeping for mines. As you do.
We're sweeping with mines.
Ooh. That's gonna make a worse mess than what you started with.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll definitely have gotten rid of whatever the original mess was. While replacing it with a new one.
This is it. Make your way to the hotel ventilation system. Murray, stay and guard the boat.
Wish they would have let me just hold the button down though, rather than having to spam it for each paddle stroke there. Bit annoying, but oh well.
Nice work. You're almost there. Be careful not to wake these guys up. They're a paranoid group, and have probably set up some crude burglar alarms.
Now, how much noise do they expect there to be from just knocking down a house of cards? I feel like that wouldn't wake anybody up.
Hey, Lars, you got the keys to the room?
Yeah, hold on. You're not there. Don't you have them?
No, you're the responsible one here. Let's just bang on the door.
No, everyone there is asleep. And I'm not gonna wake them all up. Those guys will shoot at us tomorrow if we do that.
Nice work. Head back to Murray and the raft.
Fine.
Shush!
We'll just go down to the
Quiet,
front
Bentley.
desk and ask for a spare.
Mm.
You can
Try to sneak.
wingman tomorrow.
Hey, this is a stealth mission.
Ah, fudge! Oops. They're gonna make you row back out, aren't they? Oop. What is even with these tilty things in here? What is their purpose?
Sorry, pal.
I don't
The
know.
valve gates changed position. We need to escape through another tunnel. But fear not. The Murray has an unnatural sense of direction.
Well, I hope so, because he's piloting without being able to see where he's going at all. Friggin' go for it, man. Meanwhile, I'll just go ahead and wear out this button on my controller. Oh, that was close. Woo. Missed that landmine by a blonde one.
Mm.
As they say. Whoa, whoa.
Land ho!
Don't call land that. That's rude. She's a hard-working lady.
Nice job. You really showed some finesse with those oars.
The Murray is, and always has been, finesse.
Yeah. You good to plant this helmet on the Belgian plane?
Can do, pal. Can do with a vengeance.
Why is this a Murray job?
'Cause reasons.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out when we get there, huh? I want to punch this barrel. And this one. Thanks for giving me health when I'm not damaged. Just what I needed. Bridge go burr. It's a very noisy bridge. Oh. Well, it's not for forcing the door, so what is it for? What needs punching inside?
Everything.
Everything. Punch all the things.
That's Belgium's prize plane strung up from the ceiling. It's held in place by these anchors. Destroy them and the plane should come crashing down.
Seems like these lasers might roast my hulking bulk.
True. You'll have to compact yourself using your ball move to travel safely beneath the laser grid.
Check.
You'll need to use your charged ball attack to take out the anchors. Go into ball.
That's why.
And quickly tap the square button to build up force. Then strike.
Well, that didn't work. There we go.
It is a very weird sound it's making.
The bwat, bwat, bwat?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's like a manufacturing machine or something. I guess it's these things moving on the floor, whatever they're supposed to be.
Excellent work. Glad the Viking
I don't know what.
and the Belgians are sure to blame Team Iceland.
I have no idea what the purpose of those machines were supposed to be, other than being a video game obstacle. Sometimes this game doesn't bother to pretend that things are make any sense. They're just like, here, it's a video game, have an obstacle.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was one more Murray job. Oh, it's one over here. Okay. First, punch things.
Get out the monies out of things.
Mm-hmm. I need your barrel money. But not punching your boomy things.
Yeah, that sounds like a very bad idea.
Don't punch boomers. Because I am one. Don't punch me.
Ah, Murray, I've been working to get our hangar security devices online, and they're almost operational. Unfortunately, my internet pal Penelope heard a rumor that a rival air team might be stopping by to do mischief to our plane.
Mischief makers? Coming here?
If you could stand watch while I finish getting the systems online, that would be great.
Fear not, Brainiac chum. You'll be safe while my fists are on duty. Greetings, troglodytes. Didn't think I forgot about Mesa City, did you? I figure you joints let me smash up your aeroplane and
That's
we're
not
even.
how that's...
You and what army?
Mhm.
Dumb guy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. Okay, boys. I paid you up good enough. Time to crack some
Yeah.
skulls.
You in what army? Well, this one.
You can't hurt Mugshot with your fists. Try using
Bullshit.
the switch in the middle of the hangar.
Oh, right in the cojones.
These doors ain't holding themselves open.
Oh hey, the bad guys dropped monies.
Always do. Which is lucky, because I need monies.
Other
And
monies.
health.
That too. Can you
Well,
start
I
dropping
didn't start this mission at full health anyway, so that didn't matter. Or at least this hangar. Ow. That wrench did a lot of damage.
You can't hurt Mugshot with your fists. Try using the switch in the middle of the hangar.
Well, it's because I've been belly flopping explosives, that's why. That doesn't help.
Yeah, careful with that.
Whoa. That guy's got bunny foo. Did you see that move?
Yep. I did indeed. It's cold.
Wee bit. Stop it. Stop farming me. Ow. Roast hippo.
Oh, not the bread basket.
Yep, bread basket. That's where you get it, pal. Ow. You know, if I was patient, I could just farm this mission for tons of money.
You could.
But I'm not. Also, that'd be a really boring stream. Oh, come on. 2 in a row. Give me a chance to get out of it. Jerks. Also, I don't know if I keep the money after I get killed like that. So, that probably undid a bunch of my work. Oh well. Ow. Ow. Why did I punch fire?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you punch fire?
Don't punch fire.
Because it makes me
Punching fire
burn
is
and
fun.
ouchie.
That got my kneecap.
Take that.
Murder that ball of fat!
Had more reach than I thought they would.
Right in the solar plexus. Don't
Yes.
think this is over, meatball.
Mhm.
You're not untouchable. This is just the beginning of a really bad day.
Bloodshot wasn't making idle threats. I'm reading multiple hostiles moving through the sewers toward our position.
Fortunately, my security devices are almost online. I'll just have time for a quick test.
Let's see, I can switch between computers by moving the left analog stick.
Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass, isn't it?
By pressing the triangle button, circle button, X button, or square button, I can activate the traps for the currently selected sewer. They appear to take a few seconds to reach.
Take that 5 Days at Freddy's.
Looks like you're working
Nights, whatever the hell it is.
And just in time, too. Hurry, they're upon us. If one gets through my traps, you'll have to take him out.
Got it. The Cooper plane is as safe as a baby in its aircraft hangar crib.
Damn it. Time goes off. There we go.
Now they're coming in from the right.
How did I build all this so fast?
Magic.
Pretty much.
We stopped that group, Murray, but it looks like more are on the way, and they're packing explosives.
Of course they are. Ah, crap.
There she is.
Hello.
So I absolutely hate that sound when people come in.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You can disable it.
Only if you are a Nitro member.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
Well, thank goodness for streamer mode then. Because I'm not hearing it.
You can spoof streamer mode. All I have to do is run OBS in the background and it spoofs streamer mode.
There you go.
But I don't really want to do that. It's... With everything else I do, OBS is a bit resource heavy.
Hey.
Then again, that's my OBS. I have settings that are specifically resource heavy.
Hello, sewer boy!
Just a few bogeys left. We got him. Nice work, Murray.
Mugshot will need a lot more than muscle to intimidate us.
Looks like he's got muscle and mortar fire. Maybe it's time I brought in some backup. Just hope she's monitoring the ham radio frequencies. Penelope, do you read me? Are you out there?
I read ya, Bentley.
Look at that little dork.
Sort of an awkward first face-to-face, but
your hangar is getting attacked by some traitorous, paid-off Black Baron goons. Don't worry, I won't let those honorless double-crossers hurt your team's plane.
is your RC chopper operational?
Affirmative. It's deployed.
Oh yes, his internet friend that he totally didn't drill over earlier.
That's what my homepage says.
Exactly. After she duct taped her, or scotch taped her
Don't worry, Bentley.
face pick over somebody else's body.
He did the same darn thing.
Yep.
Just installed a Yank 86 and haven't had time to read the specs. Are you familiar with the device?
Absolutely. Just hit the X button to lower your cable and grab opponents. Follow the arrow to find enemies. Use the R1 button to kick on the thrusters and yank things off the ground.
Sweet. I'll teach those chumps not to sell out the Black Baron.
I like her voice though. She's such a dork.
To maximize your power, boost in one direction, pull on the cable, then turn around and boost the other one.
Yeah, these guys are heavy.
Penelope, I'm detecting incoming tanks. They could do some serious damage to our hangar. Follow the arrow to find their location.
Affirmative.
Those tanks are heavy. You'll have to boost back and forth several times.
He wasn't
That's
so
fun.
tough.
Yep, it's totally, yeah.
I have an idea. How about you just give me bombs instead? I'll just this plane crash into the silo.
Mind the gap.
This is a weird way to defend a place, but I guess it's working.
Take that, traitor. What's up, high flyer? Hey, pal. Nice to see ya.
What are you giggling about?
Never know.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing,
back,
nothing.
though.
Nice.
I didn't leave. Again.
Enjoy the view while it lasts.
Well, no, because you just got back from leaving the first time.
No.
Hope you're not afraid of heights.
I got back and I was acknowledged that I was back and I said I was back and
Am I doing a dumb?
no, did you not recognize that I got back?
Not that I remember.
Deserved it. No one sells out the Black Baron.
I recognized. I acknowledged.
Because of the stupid sounds, and then I pointed out that you can only get rid of it if you have nitro. Or did I imagine this?
I don't remember hearing
No,
that.
that all happened.
That all happened, yes. Cringe just
Huh.
having streamer brain.
Maybe. Oh well. Either way.
I'm really glad that I wasn't crazy there. Because I've had that happen before. I've had entire sequences like that play out. Ask Snow.
Yep. She's thought we've had conversations about things, and here I am on the other end of the voice call, like, "Hey, hello? Did you fall asleep?" She's like, "No, we were just talking about this." No, we weren't. That sounds amazing, though.
It's my brain is a weird place sometimes.
Hey, mine too.
Hey,
Whose isn't
at least yours
sometimes?
is only sometimes.
It probably is all the time, but I'm only admitting to sometimes.
Raise that bridge again 5 seconds after I left.
Did you get clotheslined again?
You tell me, you're watching. Theoretically.
I am.
Yes, but you're playing.
No, I can't have been clotheslined again because Kai is not here in the game to do so. Speaking of which, is Ricky still playing Satisfactory?
Nope, he's doing music now.
Ah. I wanted to tease him about
Suit up, partner. Almost time for the semifinals. Stay sharp, Sly. Iceland and Belgium will be at each other's throats up there, but you're still outnumbered.
Relax, Mom. This is gonna be great.
Yes, this is a sufficient runway. Ah. Didn't mean to do that. How do I shoot? There it is.
Lead your opponents and watch your set. I know how you hate being
What's this?
burned alive at 500 feet.
Is it a gun upgrade? I don't like being burned alive at any altitude, actually.
Yeah, that sounds very unpleasant.
I mean, I want to be hot, but not that hot.
Same.
Yep, both already there. Should.
Oh, okay. I think those gun pickups are ammo. Even though I am clearly picking up an actual gun. Oh. Well, thank you for presenting your ass for my guns.
Ladies.
Face down, ass up.
Oh dear.
Really?
Bentley, I will hurt you.
Yeah, Bentley's being annoying again, it seems.
He's such a fun character and annoying jerk at the same time. Good flying, guys. I suppose you guys have any repair things anywhere, do you?
You made it to the final 10. Keep it up.
You Where's everybody? Can't find them anywhere, which means they must be right behind me. Hey. Turn now, please. Maybe I'll hit somebody with just sheer luck. Yeah. Ram me, bro.
Am I?
Bros.
Oh my god, that is an insult.
Oh, what?
The one that Rika posted. God damn it, you're so inbred, I bet if I punched your sister in the jaw, you'd lose a tooth.
What?
I thought that was how you circumcised them.
Oh
no. Oh no. It's kind of like that one joke that just gets worse the more you tell it, or the more you realize what's being said, rather.
I think I know that one.
What did I say?
Oh no, this...
I like a joke with layers, though.
This couple in a trailer park, guy's going down on the lady there. Suddenly stands up. It says, "Dang it, sis, you taste like paw again." And the more you think about it, the worse it gets.
It's true. I like my jokes like I like my onions, with layers.
There's so many layers in that one.
I don't like any of them.
Especially when you reach the layer of, wait a minute, how does he know what paw tastes like?
Exactly.
Well, no. There's two answers there.
And they're both true.
And they're both gross.
What do you have against families now?
Listen, I'm from Kentucky. Not that part of Kentucky, though.
I like the addendum.
Actually, technically speaking, both my parents are from West Virginia, which doesn't make it much better, but still.
West Virginia. My roommate was singing that song non-stop when Fallout 76 came out.
That is...
It's a shame he has no taste in games.
That is a song that me and some of my friends just randomly, probably very sleep-deprived, started singing when we went to IHOP at like 3 a.m. one time.
It's a great song, but I don't know why he is so excited about Fallout 76. Gross.
I don't know.
Then again, he also plays a lot of GTA Online, which is also kind of why. Does. Raccoon does do it so good, ladies. Or at least one lady in particular in his case. Ow! Well, Sly Cooper doesn't do it for the ladies, he does it specifically for Carmelita.
Yep.
Sly's flying, we're officially in the Aces Finals. Our opponents, Team Mugshot and Team Black Baron. The rules in the finals are a bit different than normal. Whoever takes out the defending champ gets the title. Hear that, boys? It's all about taking down the Baron. Our only real competition will be Mugshot himself. We need to remove him from the competition. Here's the plan. I'll challenge him to a fist fight out in the town square. Sly, you find and lure Inspector Fox to the same place. When the two meet, the sparks are sure to fly. With some luck, the big guy will get carted
Literal
off
sparks.
to jail, and we'll have clear skies for the finals. However, the Baron won't be so easy to deal with. He commands an enormous team of flyers and has been known to bring in a squad of limp gunships when things look grim. The answer to our problem isn't obvious, although it is potent. Behold, Lupus Gigantormus. I'll drug the beast so that the Guru will be able to ride it and take out some of the local guards, who also serve as the Baron's pilots. Obviously, the fewer enemy pilots Sly has to deal with in the finals, the better. Next, I'll hack into the aircraft control tower. If successful, I'll be able to intercept any messages the Baron might send to his gunships. All right, team, we've got all night to prepare. If we take this thing, it'll mean more than a trophy. Penelope is sure to join our gang. After her stellar work defending our hangar, I'm sure we'd all agree that she's a prime recruit.
She's adorkable.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now we just need to get a love interest from Murray, and the whole team is set up. Also, I like how we're making plans based on the presence of Carmelita, even though we haven't seen her yet, but we just know she's gonna show up.
Yeah?
You just know it. But alright, let us leave it there for today. And heck up a raid in here. Farming simulator. Ricky's all over the place today.
He switched it. Just
Twice,
recently.
apparently. Ooh. Do we raid Farming Simulator, or do we raid Patrick Rothfuss? Not that he's gonna notice, but...
Yeah.
You know what?
Here.
We have to try, though. Right?
Oh shit.
What?
He raised the money.
Ooh.
Oh?
Well, let's go say hi then, shall we?
I'm
Sure.
pretty sure that happened before he beat the Ender Dragon, so yeah.
All right, let's go see what
Hopefully.
he's saying about this sheep on his screen. All right, have a good one, everybody. More Sly tomorrow.